Google was fined $170 million for illegally tracking children on YouTube. That happened in 2019, yet Chrome still runs on 3.45 billion devices. The FTC called it the largest children's privacy penalty in US history. Google paid the fine, admitted nothing, and kept doing exactly the same. If that does not disturb you, what happens next absolutely will. Right now, over 3.45 billion people worldwide are actively using Google Chrome. That is nearly half the entire human population on this one planet. Every single one of those users is feeding Google's advertising machine daily, and the browser they trust is the very tool doing the feeding. Before going deeper, hit subscribe and join the Finance Truths community today. This channel exists to show you what big tech never once revealed. Now here's the thing nobody talks about at the dinner table. Google's entire business model is built on one single product: your data. In 2023, Google generated $237 billion in total advertising revenue worldwide. Chrome is the front door through which all of that data flows. Every website visited, every search typed, every product clicked gets recorded quietly. That behavioral profile on you is worth real money to real advertisers. And Google does not just sell ads. It auctions off your attention. The more Chrome knows about you, the higher those auction prices climb. This is not speculation. It is Google's own publicly disclosed business model. Now think about that $170 million fine against Google for tracking children. FTC Commissioner Rohit Chopra said the penalty was less than Google earned. He called it less than what they made from illegally spying on kids. An FTC commissioner openly said the fine was not even a deterrent. YouTube was valued at $180 billion at the time of that settlement. A $170 million penalty to a $180 billion platform is simply nothing. That math tells you everything about how seriously Google takes these violations. Now, here comes the part that most Chrome users completely overlook daily. Chrome's Incognito Mode is one of the most misunderstood features in tech. Most people believe incognito means private, hidden, and completely off the record. It does not. Google itself admitted this in a court settlement in 2024. Google agreed to purge billions of records collected from over 136 million users. Those users were all browsing in incognito mode when Chrome was watching them. The lawsuit accused Google of illegal surveillance while promising users private browsing. That case was filed in June 2020 and settled in April 2024. Billions of records, over 136 million Americans, all collected without proper disclosure. This was not a glitch, an accident, or a misunderstood privacy setting. This was a deliberate architectural decision baked into Chrome's design from the start. Chrome was watching you even when it told you it was not. Now let that sit for a moment before moving to the next part. Google's business needs surveillance the way a car engine needs gasoline to run. Without tracking data, Google cannot target ads. And without ads, revenue collapses entirely. Chrome is therefore not a browser first. It is a data collector first. The browsing experience is just the free product wrapped around the real product. The real product has always been the behavioral data profile built on you. This is not a fringe theory. It is how Google describes itself to investors. In its annual filings, advertising revenue consistently accounts for over 77% of income. Every percentage point of that revenue depends on Chrome feeding the data pipeline. Now let us talk about what kind of data Chrome actually collects daily. According to Apple's App Store privacy labels, Chrome collects a staggering amount of information. Chrome tracks your location, browsing history, search history, and user identifiers simultaneously. It collects financial information, purchase history, and data directly linked to your identity. No other major browser has a data collection disclosure as wide as Chrome's. Safari, Firefox, and Brave all collect dramatically less data by comparison, according to Apple. When Apple published those privacy labels, Chrome's list looked unlike anything seen before. Developers and privacy researchers were visibly stunned by how extensive Chrome's collection was. And remember, this is what Google itself disclosed, not what critics alleged externally. Now, here is where the finance angle enters this conversation in a serious way. Your data has a direct dollar value in the advertising economy right now. Research from privacy firm Cracked Labs found detailed user profiles sell for dollars each. Multiply that value across 3.45 billion Chrome users, and the number is staggering. Some estimates put the annual value of Chrome's data harvesting in the billions. This is not charity. Google is running the most profitable surveillance operation in history, and users are not just tolerating it, they are actively choosing to participate. That choice is made without full information, and that is the real problem. The average person assumes the browser is a neutral tool helping them surf. It is not neutral. It never was. And the fines prove that clearly. Now let us shift to something that caused real outrage in the tech world. In 2024, the U.S. Department of Justice escalated its antitrust lawsuit against Google directly. The DOJ proposed that Google be forced to divest and sell Chrome entirely. Regulators estimated Chrome's standalone valuation at approximately $20 billion as of late 2024. Think about that number for a second. $20 billion for a free browser. A browser that generates $20 billion in value collects data worth far more. The DOJ called Chrome a key distribution channel locking users into Google search permanently. By defaulting every Chrome search to Google, competition in search is essentially eliminated. Every Chrome installation is a guaranteed Google search user delivered to the ad auction. This is why the DOJ described it as an anti-competitive tool at its core. And this is why regulators around the world are watching Chrome very carefully now. The European Union has its own ongoing investigations into Chrome's market dominance as well. Regulatory pressure is mounting on every continent, and users are beginning to pay attention. But attention alone does not protect anyone. Action does, and the action is switching. 3 browsers exist right now that handle your privacy in a fundamentally different way. These are not obscure tools built by privacy hobbyists working from a garage somewhere. These are well-funded, widely used, and technically superior alternatives to Chrome in every way. The first one was built by the co-creator of JavaScript and Firefox himself. He left Mozilla specifically because he believed browsers could do far better on privacy. The second one has been endorsed by privacy advocates and cybersecurity experts worldwide alike. The third one is already on your device if you own any Apple product. Each one of them treats your data as yours, not as inventory to sell. That browser is Brave, and it was founded by Brendan Eich back in 2015. Eich co-created JavaScript and co-founded Mozilla Firefox before building Brave from scratch. He watched Chrome rise to dominance and decided the web deserved something much better. Brave is built on the same Chromium engine that powers Chrome underneath the surface. That means every Chrome extension you rely on today works perfectly inside Brave immediately. The transition from Chrome to Brave takes less than 5 minutes for most users, but here is where Brave separates itself from everything else available on the market. Brave blocks ads and trackers by default. No extensions, no settings, no manual work. The moment you install Brave, it starts protecting you without asking you to configure anything. Independent tests show Brave loads web pages up to 3 times faster than Chrome. That speed advantage comes directly from blocking the tracking scripts Chrome happily loads for you. Those scripts are not helping you browse. They're watching every move you make. Brave strips them out before the page even finishes loading on your screen. In 2024, privacy testing organization privacytests.org ranked Brave among the strongest browsers tested. Brave blocks cross-site tracking, fingerprinting attempts, and third-party cookie tracking automatically by default. Chrome blocks none of those things by default. It requires manual effort from users. For anyone switching from Chrome, Brave is genuinely the easiest and most seamless transition. The second browser every privacy-conscious person should know about is Mozilla Firefox immediately. Firefox has been around since 2004 and is maintained by a nonprofit called Mozilla. Mozilla's entire mission is to keep the internet open, accessible, and genuinely private for everyone. Firefox does not run on Chromium. It uses its own independent engine called Gecko. That architectural independence matters because it means Firefox is not built on Google's foundation at all. Firefox's enhanced tracking protection blocks social media trackers, fingerprinters, and crypto miners out of the box. Mozilla publishes its source code openly, meaning independent researchers can audit exactly what Firefox does. No hidden data pipelines, no undisclosed collection practices. The code is available for everyone to inspect. Firefox also supports containers, a feature that isolates different websites from spying on each other. Imagine your banking tab having zero awareness that your shopping tab even exists at all. That is exactly what Firefox multi-account containers delivers for privacy-focused users right now. Firefox's private browsing mode actually works the way Chrome's Incognito promised to work but failed. When you close a private Firefox session, cookies and tracking data are genuinely deleted completely. No lawsuits, no court settlements, no billions of secretly collected records from private sessions. Mozilla has never faced a lawsuit for secretly surveilling users inside its private browsing mode. That simple fact says everything about the difference in culture between Mozilla and Google. Firefox also gives users more control over data than any other mainstream browser available today. You can customize tracking protection levels, manage permissions granularly, and opt out of telemetry entirely. For users who want maximum control without deep technical knowledge, Firefox is the ideal choice. Now let us talk about the third browser, which is already sitting on your device. If you own an iPhone, iPad, or MacBook, Safari is already installed and ready to go. Apple built Safari with a completely different philosophy from the ground up over 2 decades. Apple's business model is selling hardware at premium prices, not auctioning behavioral data to advertisers. That fundamental business difference changes everything about how Safari handles your browsing data daily. Safari's intelligent tracking. Prevention technology actively limits how advertisers follow you across different websites. Apple engineers update the system regularly to stay ahead of new fingerprinting and tracking techniques. In 2021, Apple's App Tracking Transparency feature forced apps to ask permission before tracking users. That single feature cost the digital advertising industry an estimated $10 billion in lost revenue annually. Facebook alone lost an estimated $10 billion in ad revenue in 2022 because of it. Apple is not perfect, and Safari is not a flawless privacy solution by any measure. But compared to Chrome, Safari is operating on an entirely different ethical and financial foundation. Apple collects some browsing data through iCloud and Apple Search, and users should know that. But Apple explicitly does not link browsing data to individual ad profiles the way Google does. That distinction is not a minor technical difference. It represents a fundamentally different value system entirely. For Apple device users, switching from Chrome to Safari requires zero installation and zero technical effort. Open Safari, set it as default, and the surveillance model underneath your browsing changes instantly. Now here is what every person watching this needs to understand about financial exposure directly. Your browsing data does not just fuel targeted ads. It shapes financial decisions made about you. Insurance companies, lenders, and employers increasingly use third-party data brokers to assess individual risk profiles. Those data brokers buy behavioral profiles sourced from advertising ecosystems that Chrome helps power significantly. A detailed profile of your health searches, financial anxiety, and lifestyle choices has real consequences. It can influence the interest rate offered on your next loan without you ever knowing. It can affect insurance pricing decisions made about you completely behind the scenes today. This is not a hypothetical future risk. Data brokers are operating this market right now. The FTC has documented this industry extensively, and its scale runs into the billions annually. Every search you make inside Chrome is another data point feeding that ecosystem invisibly. Switching browsers does not solve everything, but it removes the most direct surveillance pipeline available. Brave, Firefox, and Safari all reduce your data exposure in ways Chrome simply refuses to do. The $170 million fine Google paid was less than what it earned from the violation. That arithmetic reveals a company that views fines as a business cost, not a deterrent. Until legislation catches up with the scale of this problem, the individual choice matters enormously. 3 billion people chose Chrome because it was pre-installed, familiar, and backed by Google's brand. Familiarity is not a privacy policy, and brand recognition is not the same as protection. The browsers that protect you exist right now. They are free, and they are ready. Brave loads faster, blocks more, and transitions from Chrome in under 5 minutes flat today. Firefox gives you nonprofit-backed, auditable, genuinely private browsing with the deepest customization available anywhere. Safari gives Apple device users an already installed, hardware-backed alternative with zero switching cost involved. The data economy is real, the risks are documented, and the tools to protect yourself exist. The only question left is whether you are going to keep handing Chrome your behavioral profile. If this changed how you see your browser, subscribe to Finance Truths right now below. Drop a comment telling us which browser you are switching to after watching this today. Your privacy is a financial asset. Stop giving it away for the price of convenience.